All right, we are back. We are live from the SiriusXM studios at the Wynn Las Vegas here on Faction Talk 103 and, of course, the SiriusXM app. And he made his way. I was directing him past the buffet. You hang a left, you hang a right. And it is good to see my old buddy Chris Jericho here in studio with me. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great, man. And what a cool place this is, this studio here in the middle of the Wynn. We've come a long way from the upstairs studio in New York.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was on 57th.
Yeah.
That was that's when Sirius and XM were two different companies. Mm-hmm. And they had a little studio for us, for the XM people, on 57th Street. It was truly the lunatics running the asylum. I was in there. Ron and Fez were in there. Yep. Rest in peace, Fezzy. Yep. And Opie and Anthony were in there.
That's right.
And those were the three shows that originated from that studio. We used to literally turn the key, turn the light on, power it up.
That's right, exactly.
And then nobody else would be working from there, so we would hang out and have drinks afterwards and all that.
But here we are in the big time now. So
congratulations. No, this is a great facility. I love Vegas, and I love that we have this. We've had this I don't even know if we had a year at this point, but they were just telling me, obviously, you from the wrestling world, WrestleMania was here last weekend. So this thing was hopping with all sorts of
they had
wrestling
so many
activity.
Events, and it was just the whole week. I think it just ended yesterday. So we got here just in time for all that to be done.
Do you, I know you're not part of that world anymore, but do you still keep a tab on it?
Well, I still work for AEW. It's the company that we're on TBS. So it's kind of like the competition. What is the competition? But yeah, you still keep track of everything and keep an eye on what's going on.
You got a lot of friendships there with some of those wrestlers?
It's kind of like, it's like being on tour with a band. You might not see somebody for a few years, and as soon as you see them, it's like not a day has gone by, So it was actually pretty funny because we have the show here in Vegas tomorrow night. A lot of people thought it was kind of like a secret admission that I was going to be at WrestleMania or something along those lines. It's like, Jericho's going to be in Vegas on Thursday. That means he can be there on Tuesday because he's got the day off. And fans do all that kind of math, right? But no, we were just...
Same thing we do with rock bands.
Exactly. We were just hanging out and went to Carrot Top yesterday, so that was the extent of it.
How great is Carrot Top?
He's the best. Yeah, he's such a great guy.
He's the best. I love him. He was here in this studio. We did a show here with, we called it Heaven's House Band. Uh-huh. And you pick the ultimate 5 members who sadly are all passed away to assemble the greatest band.
Wow.
So, you could have Freddie Mercury singing, Eddie Van Halen playing guitar. It's a bit sad and morbid, but it turned out to be a lot of fun.
I don't think it's morbid.
We did it in a celebratory way.
It's more of a tribute. Did you see that picture that's going around, that AI picture? It was Neil Peart, Cliff Burton, Eddie, Dio, and who's the other guitar player? There was another guitar player in there as well.
Was it Dime?
It was Dime. Yeah. See, what I would do is I would take Dime out of the equation and put Malcolm Young in there, because you got to have someone to hold down the rhythms. If you got Cliff Burton and Neil on this rhythm section, someone's got to keep the beat. So I would put Malcolm in there.
See, that was kind of like when we did that show, and we'll do it again. As a matter of fact, I got to hit Carrot Top up because he wants to do it again. But and it was his idea. That's why I brought him in to do it. He listens and he pitched ideas to me. So I loved that one, and that's why I included him on it. But that was kind of the exercise, is like, okay, well, if you've got Eddie Van Halen on guitar, you might need somebody to kind of more anchor the rhythm in. Do you want 2 lead guitar players? But that was the debate with each caller. Like, where do you go? Do you go like all virtuoso players, or do you really structure a band? Do you include a keyboard player instead of a second guitar player?
You could. I mean,
like,
that's
you got
the beauty
5
of
slots,
it.
so you do what you want.
5. Yeah. But that's the thing when you do these types of fantasy booking, as we would say, is that the initial idea is, we'll put Eddie and Dime in the same band. It'll be awesome. The biggest thing about a band is chemistry, as you know. And so that might not work as a band. So if I was going to be involved in that, I would take a piece of paper and write down, like, what would be the best chemistry possibly in here? Because obviously with Dime and Eddie would be amazing, but they might need a rhythm player in there too. Not that they're not both amazing rhythm players too, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, no, that would be interesting.